Great night, my kings and queens. Wake up and be authentic. On don't know it's in a girl authentic Queen Simone. Come for drop some authentic spiritual reasoning in the night here, so I could just run up straight up into it. So tonight I'm gonna talk about the topic of we are all willing accomplice in our own downfall. I'm gonna say that again. We are all willing accomplice in our own downfall. Now, I'm telling you what I mean by that. I'm just go straight into it and giving it right through. Oftentimes, we play a victim. We play victim to situations that we created. You see, when you become adults, you are responsible for your life. I'm not talking about when you're little. I did little, I 10-year-old, I 9-year-old, I 11, I 12, I one man, always rape, do all kind of things where we never old enough to make certain decisions on our own. You know, we get into some unfortunate situations, but it wasn't our situation. With parents end up being with married men who sexually molest us. I'm not talking about that. Those things was like, for example, forced upon you. But the only thing with those things is that when you're reaching adulthood, it is your responsibility to figure out if you're going to make that situation kill you, either going to make it damage you, or you're going to use it for strengthening you or for help other people. That is the way you have responsibility for that. Now, a lot of things have been weighing heavy on my mind in the sense of I see a lot of adults, they always want to play victim mentality in victim situations. The first thing I'm going to talk about is relationship. And why I talk about it? Relationship is the most common thing. Man and woman are going to get together. We are going to have problem and things are going to happen. Now, let me tell you this. I start with the man them first. A lot of men in Jamaica, I'm talking for Jamaica because I not travel the entire world for know how world man stay, but I can tell you about some of Jamaican men. Not all, but some. They were raised by their mothers. Depending on who that mother is or who that mother was is going to determine how that boy child going to come out. You see, if that mother never treat that little boy or give that little boy love, the little boy then not gonna like woman. I'm not going to have any love and respect for women. Now let's say his mother never treat him nice. But let's say me have an aunt where him respect and love and admire, treat him nice. Maybe him have a different approach to women. But suppose him never have no father, no mother, no female to treat him good. All his mother do a beat him, do all kind of things and, damage him and so forth and damage him self-esteem. He might go around and be that way. Now, let's say it's a man who claims to say my gal is, because in Jamaica, once a man have more than one woman, sorting out them have it for say them a gal is. When the truth is, most men in Jamaica use woman as a whole and not as a whole. Whole as in WHOLE. Them don't see woman as that. I remember one time here Shelly Week said that. But them use woman as a whole. HOLE. We know the derogatory term where we use, what me I talk about. They don't. Them only think them love and respect woman. Me and my friend Fatty, rest in peace, Fatty, used to talk and say, we used to run a joke and we say, say, come to think of it. If some of them man here, like for example, a woman leave her vagina at a gas station and stay at her yard. Enough time the man would have visit the gas station more than the man would have visit the woman. Because the truth is, the reason why the man come to the woman some of the time, some of them, not all of them, and this is not for everybody. I'm talking to like real people who know a real situation and understand what I say. You understand? And the man know, not for the time, the reason why the man visit the woman is because the woman have the whole. You understand what I mean? Because these men believe that because them have sex with women, it means that they love woman. No, some men just like to have sex with women, but they don't like woman. Now, when you look on society, you hear woman bitter, and woman cuss, and woman say, oh, man, I like man, them are wicked, them this and them that. Bear this in mind. A lot of these men were damaged by women, and them take it out on the female. So enough times we as women, as mothers raising boy child can teach them how to love, no? Because enough of them don't love because they never get taught how to love. Some persons might agree, and some persons may not agree. But you can agree to disagree. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about what I'm seeing, talking about realism, I'm talking about facts. Remember, I'm raised with their own people and see how them act. When I look at my situation with my father raised with a mother, you know. But guess what the type of mother that he was? His mother kind of have a little prejudice thing to her, which is my grandmother. For example, she light skin and she have a little ear, what the mother call it coolie ear. And she never really liked my mother because my mother dark skin. And not only that, my mother feisty. My mother would trace her and tell her her mind. Me I tell her that's how my mother stay. And he needed permission from his mother to say if I was his child. Mommy, what you think about a baby? So my mother say, I don't know if it's true. But that's I tell you now. So my mother say, he needed permission from his mother to find out if I was his child. So the mother said, according to what mommy said, the mother said, yes, and she said she favor you. Now look, my father was raised by his mother. He was not raised by his father. Me can tell you this, my father have a lot of feminine traits in him. He's not gay. He's very handsome, carry himself well, but him have a feminine traits in him where him act like a woman sometimes. He's very emotional when he express himself. I can tell you that him express himself the same way like his mother, because him stayed just like her, because she was the female who raised him. Everywhere she go, him go, so forth. Him tell me one day, it's a female mother never tell him who his father was. And it was years after, since him in an adult time, 40 odd, 50 odd, him realized that it was a man who always tell him good morning every morning was his father all along. So you see, he was a victim of a situation that he did not create. But him could have grown up beyond that and have emotional intelligence and just say, oh, I'm not going to do that for my child and use it as a motivation. But then again, him did young when him get me, because I think he was 18 when him get me. So my mother said. So my mother was older than him and my mother was 21. But listen to the situation. I can tell you that my father deal with things out of emotion. He's very emotional. Him not have emotional intelligence. Him dark like midnight. Him don't express himself that way. Even him own wife that he's with express said him dark and him not no sense. But why? He was raised by his mother. Now, as an adult, as a big man, him should have grew up for know say what is right, what is wrong. Which it was so embedded in him by the woman. She did not tell him who his father was. So he's angry. And him angry with woman. I remember me a girl child, so him angry with me. Fast forward. He married now and him have a wife and him have a next child. I don't know the relationship between him and his child, but what I've heard is that him treat she like the queen. But me can tell you this. It's his wife is the reason why him treat that little girl the way him treat her. Because him wife probably lick some sense in her female head because she was raised by a mother and a father. You see it? And let me tell you this, she mean what she lick sense in her head, because there's a lot of times she and him argue about he's not coming to look for me. Even though she did pass her remarks about me one time when my house did burn down and me never like it, me can tell you say, when me go down at the yard, she deal with me better than how my father would deal with me, because he's emotionally traumatized. But him a big man now, so him for grow from that. But look now, I just assure you how not everybody are gonna be fortunate enough to grow emotionally and grow all of that and suffer. But I'm just saying that a lot of times we go around as woman time, and we blame the men for everything. We blame man for everything. But some of us hate man and have issues with man because of what our mother told us. Me can tell you say that happened to me. Me never really, to tell you the truth, even when my mother used to tell me pure bad things about my father, I never ate my father. I used to even tell my mother to leave my father alone until me grew up and see the kind of person that he was. My father did not prove my mother wrong. As a matter of fact, my mother used to cuss and say him not mind me, him not take care of me. But my father was the first man who emotionally abused me. Not beat me and lick me up, and emotionally abused me. So when the first time I went to talk to a man, I tell myself so that man never want me, because my father was the first male who damaged my self-esteem by telling me that him don't know if him like me or stuff like that. No, look now. All of my life, if I just walk and say, oh, where my father do, where my mama do, and all of these things, and don't even try to grow emotionally. If I had followed what the steps that my father did, I wouldn't have a father for my child until this day. So a lot of times we can look into ourselves and see why things happen to we, why we attract the person that we attract. As I said this already, you can front all you want. The universe responds to the real you, not the one who you pretend to be. We are operating from certain energy and certain DNA that cause us to attract a certain type of man in our lives. We have been hurt before. We hear our mother hurt. I will sit down, I will listen to the cries and the emotion that she been through. I will start we just start X out, man. But the truth is, men and women, we need each other. Because if the man never have the, what we call it, the sperm and ejaculate and all of these things, we wouldn't bring the child. But then again, here is we have the egg. So you understand? So the man can't get it from nowhere else but we, and we can determine if we want to bring that child or not. I'm saying this to say, we are all in this together. So you see this victim situation where we go on every day, I blame everybody, I blame mama, I blame physiology, I blame all of the things them, I blame childhood. Don't bear in mind, childhood contribute to enough of the things and the way how we stay. But at the end of the day, we have the power to change that. Not really change it, but we have the power to grow up beyond that. Because look, me did angry with my father when my father did what he did to me. Not when my mother tell me about my father. Because me did tell my father, mother said to leave my father. But him never prove her wrong. Now, me did always want, get back to my father. And me always want, that father thing. So when my father come out of the blues one day and say, please forgive me and all of that, me think say it was good. Until one day I said to him, him tell me, say, you're family, You're the first, you're my first daughter, so I love you. I realize him a post up and him now post up me. And him a post up him other family, him now post up me. So I made a comment and say, oh yeah, post up. Wait there. No, I said to him, say, am I not a part of this family? And him start cuss and talk, say, me and my kingman, my daughter Javea and my kingman son is family. And him and him wife and him next daughter is family. Him have 3 of us, but it's only one daughter him recognize as family. My vex, my authenticity and my vex and my cussing. But you know what I realize? The forgiveness. Where him did call and say for forgive. Because me always wanted, because remember me a father mascot, So because I always wanted to have that father figure in my life, but willingly accept him. And guess what me did want? Me did want a father and daughter relationship. But guess what? He's not that way. He does not want that from me. So what me should I do is just forgive the situation and I try to push up myself. But afterward, I'm not so angry again like how me did angry before. Because I realized that my journey when me a go on in my life required my mother to raise me. That is how me start grow emotionally intelligent now, Yes, the situation did affect me. But may I tell you, say, me realize now, and I'll tell you this, as since that year, and me I realize that. Yeah. Because the situation that happened to me happened in a pandemic. That was 2 years ago. That for sure, you. So it took me 2 years to really come to the conclusion and say, what he said was harsh. When him say, because in other words, him separate the family. What he said was harsh. But as harsh as it was, I found truth in it. Because the truth is, me and him are a family. He was just my father. Your family is the person where you build with and where you grow with. So I came up with a conclusion and said, here with me I say, he was the taxi driver and my mother is the gatekeeper. Because majority of the stuff when me go through, when me overcome, the bleaching story when I tell you now, all of the little things that I tell you now, will make me into the person that I am today. I got that from my dung of my mother when me did live down in Almantown, down there. So I guess so most of my story, most of my life journey, I guess where it come from. And it's same one me use right now for help and inspire persons. Because me grew up on the sites and I adapt a victim mentality. Me use my situation as an ammunition to fuel my passion. You understand? Because if I never do that, me that go on bitter, I 8 man, I walk a 8 man for the 1 man will hurt me. But come to think of it, I even hurt myself. Because I remember me have my friend, the same friend, big up yourself, Simon, me can't stop talk about you. I got to Simon, oh me and my friend, oh me and a woman that turn friend. One day I was sitting down and talking to her. And I said to her, no, say me I deal with this man, and him don't come talk to me for about, me don't hear from him don't call me, and me don't see him for like about almost a month, 3.5 weeks. She look at me and she said, let me tell you this, girl. If you talking to a man, right? And Him take 1 month for come look for you. That man don't love you. No matter what him tell you and the excuse. Because when a man want a woman, if I even want cemetery, I go down in the fear. She say, use yourself and judge it. You love somebody and you want somebody. You are going to stay far from them almost a month. And as so comes me and not turn friend because she need real and she tell me the truth. She never sugarcoat nothing. Now I had an ex-friend who used to say, oh, maybe him like you, but him busy. And then she go behind my back and chat me. So me and that friend, they and a friend again. But me and that woman, they end up become friend because she real. And them people them you want in my circle because she tell me the truth. She says, Simone, use yourself and judge it. If you love somebody, would you so and so? So all of us love living at this fairy tale land. I would like to justify things. When a man don't worry, oh, I didn't want him. I didn't like him. You're telling a lie. You liked him. But because he didn't like you and never get it in your favor, you said the man is a bad man. Let me tell you something. We are all adults. We are adults. I know me I talk to adults and this or something here. I don't have any kids on here. I know say maybe someone might listen to it and then make the kids hear it. But I'm going to tell you this. Take responsibility for your destiny. Men also has been abused by women. The same way women have been abused by men. Me can tell you that. So sometimes if we are all the time we make choices in our life, both male and female, my authenticity is only me I talk to, my kings and my queens only me I talk to. Did you know that sometimes we are attracting the same kind of people because we haven't let go of the situation? That's why we keep on getting ourselves in our hole and we don't even know. A lot of us women, we have this thing, oh, I want a man to build with. I want a nice man to love me for me. I want a man this, I want like a siren. What do you have to offer to that man? Did you know that some man want a mother figure too? Some man is looking for a mother figure. Are you willing to be a mother figure for him? We just we just take. Because some of we is a single child. We are an only child and we go spoil. Our feel so we must just want this and we want that. Now if you like a man because of the materialistic things that he has, and you don't get it in a favor, so the man love you. You can't blame the man. You can't blame because that is what you wanted. That is why you attract that. We attract who we are. We could have deal a little more with that. We attract the friends, them, everything. Sometimes in an unfortunate situation, like me get myself caught in some situation. Sometimes I'm say, what kind of energy me did that have make me attract them people in my life? It always go back to you. Because as I said, we are all willing accomplices in our own downfall. We need to get real. The first step in being authentic is to be honest with yourself. We are not honest with ourselves. We blame everybody. We blame everything. We blame the physiology. We blame the bone. We blame the food. We blame everybody for everything. Because it makes us feel better inside. It makes us not have to sit down and think about nothing. Am I saying be hard for yourself and go kill yourself and go commit suicide also? No, I'm saying be honest with yourself and be real. Be real. My kings and queens, be real with yourself. To thine own self, be true. Who it is, Shakespeare. One of them man they say so. I don't remember who name so, but somebody say to thine own self, be true. You have to be real. Every day we get up our cuss man. Every day we get up our cuss woman. You have some woman, some man hate man. Yes, your mother might hurt you. Yes, your mother might do all of the little things them and so forth. But oh God man, you need to say karma come back for you. Karma will come back for you, you know. Because the law of karma, I'm telling you something. One of the beginning of wisdom is understanding the law of karma. Me can tell you say, you have man out there when me never want. And me end up talk to somebody when never want me. But we are going to say, oh, he's wicked, I love him. I was there for him, I did everything for him. I give him the best this and the best that, and he hurt me. You never remember time he hurt Tom Strokes' arm. You never remember time he ate me Spatsy son. You never remember time he used to name out Patsy son. That man you probably don't eat you out like take out your money, but him eat out your heart. Mentor, you never remember time you use the people them pitney. You never remember time you have one woman we hold it down. We don't know struggle. We don't know one no hungry and favor skull dog. We don't remember them days there. The one we want to think now. When you don't on the left them, when they expect now. The next woman want to meet, want to love nyam no out. You never remember them something there. No, woman wicked. Woman are wicked. You never remember you wicked too when you use the girl with the love your way name. Sir, you never remember that. These are the things I'm talking about, and I use relationship because remember, man and woman have to get together. And at them little things you got at me in a life lessons, everything will happen to we in a life. We work with our organization where I work, people want we every day. Take your money where you work and invest in our business for yourself, because at any time the boss can come in and say me I lock down this pandemic, not teach someone something. We never say if you won't go left your job, but me I tell you this, save up on the money and invest in on the thing, or you cannot walk in the confidence of somebody else's dream. Once you're working for somebody, it is not your place, it is not your organization, because the person can come in and get mad and lock it down. I can tell you where I learned this. When I used to work at Go West, I left the job long time, and persons were in there, and I had a friend and I said, you're very talented, save up your money and invest in your thing, because you are very, 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 very talented. You know what she did? She still stayed at the job until Go West locked down with her, until she had to end up and talk to a man who was very abusive, but he was taking care of her. But me I tell you, the little girl talented and she'd have made money. The boss just come in and decide to struggle lock down things because things now go on. Same way with pandemic. So sometimes you have to work with somebody before you can work with yourself. But in the midst of doing that, take your money and invest. I think one of the speaker them talk about it, you know. I don't remember which speaker, but I hear somebody that talk. I say one speaker did I say you must take your money and invest in your dream. Your money where you work, your salary, your work pay, invest it. Uno do here. When time come now and things start happening to you now, uno start complain. Don't complain because you were a willing accomplice in your own downfall. You're in a relationship with a man. The man is beating you. You stay there, you cuss, you go on. You volunteer to be punching bag because he's been doing it over and over, and you still stay until you make up your mind and leave, or you're willing to take some lick then, because some woman like when man beat them over. Man is the same thing. Man get beaten too, man get abused. I want to know. I just that man don't come out, come talk, but you have man out there, so woman that take her, so him own Timberland and beat him. You stayed because you're willing accomplice in your own downfall. So tonight, my authenticians, when I done with Unwino, we're not going to be authentic, and we're not going to take responsibility, and we're not going to be honest with yourself. All of us have a role to play in our destiny and in our life. We have to step out. We have to step out and be the person who we were meant to be in the first place. You are a combination of your mother and your father, whether you like them or not. Because whether or not, me can tell you, so me can see some traits in my father when me have, me might not grow with him. Because you see the look of fashionable side you want to see me with, that fashionable something that and my father stays. So as I said, he's very handsome and him love clothes, him love shoes, and him, you see theme something where him use and clean theme furniture them is a shocking color feather. Yeah, him handsome, woman did love him off and thing. Him like that little dress up side there. My mother know she more gangster. She more like hardworking, and she more, you know, stand up for her right. She talk strong, and she may get that little animated thing there from. I'm a combination of my mother and my father, and I love them both. I did angry with my father, but I just have to just go for accept for no say him still in my DNA, so I just have to accept it as it is. So you is a combination of your mother and your father, along with your personal experience where you go through, and that is what makes you unique. Because everybody journey different, everybody experience different. But you get some of the things, them your physiology, the way how you look, your complexion, your ear, all of that you get it from your mother and your father. Some of your character traits, whether you grow with them or not, may I tell you. Because me can tell you, so my king man never grow with him father, but him grew up for find out him father love dog like him, animal like him, and him never grow with him never know say him love hush puppy and all, him love puppy, but him grew up and him tell him that. And when them are tell him about him father, him have the same traits them in him where the father have, even though him never grew up with him, because the DNA embedded in you, it can't come out. So it no make no sense to eat to mother, it no make no sense to eat the father. We can't angry with them, but it no make no sense. What we going to do? What we're going to do is be the ambassador for our bloodline and break the generational curse. That's what my authenticians them are going to do. That is what I've done. I break that curse. So me and my father, we're not really so good, you know, we know. Because him head go and come and him emotional and so. But me I tell you, say, me just have to accept the fact that he was a taxi driver. And my mother is the gatekeeper. And all of these things that I've been through, everything that I've been through in my life, I just have to be grateful. And me tell you this, you grow when you look back, and all of the man them may use you, all of the woman them may use you, all of the things that may happen. When you can look back and say, thank you God I needed that. That is when you know you grow. My authenticians, we need to start take full responsibility for our destiny. And just know, say, we are all willing accomplice in our own downfall. So we need to get up now and come out of the victim mentality and go out there and serve. Serve like the person you're supposed to be. Have an authentic life. God bless you. And I salute the authenticity in you all. Mwah!